Hey, True Believers England team here, and I went to Megacon again and had an interesting time. I've got my what is his name, Zorg background going on again. This overlord and seer of all teenagers who want to fight for me.
Yeah, and you're even kind of digitized a little bit like Zordon, so it works out perfectly.
Yeah, I see that on with the headphones and everything. I've got an unboxing to do. Again, these are books that are going to be in next week's auction as I try to get my money back and so forth as quick as possible. That's the plan. That's the plan. So what's been going on with you, LK?
Oh, not a ton. Angering people with my take on the Rescue Rangers movie. That's all.
Haven't seen it yet. I know you hate it, but like
I made it through the first 50 minutes last night before I said, like, you know what, I'm shutting this off. I don't need this before I go to bed.
You're like Mikey from the Life cereal commercial. He won't like it. He hates everything.
It was just so nasty. It is the only word I can come up with. I mean, just ugly. The people that made this just should have no business, whatever. And as I say, I mean, bottom line too is, I don't know who this is being made for in terms of creating an audience, because it's definitely not for kids. And and honestly, to me, anybody who loved the Rescue Rangers, growing up, should hate this with 1,000 burning suns.
Wow.
So all that's left is cynical 20 somethings, and I hate to admit, I know. Did you ever frequent a site was called Television Without Pity?
No.
Okay. It was kind of more or less the first of like the snarky, commentary review websites.
Yeah.
So they would, review an episode of, I don't know, let's say Buffy, and it would be like a 10-page.
So they're the ones that started to make the black pill.
Oh, no. I wouldn't call it the black pill. It was more of starting the whole snarky commentary, that everything's like, finding the irony in everything. And, cynical, as they say, in massive snark, everything's a joke, ha kind of stuff. And I admit, I read it, and, I would, enjoy and find humorous some of the takes and things like that. But, just like, how Alan Moore spawned an entire generation of poor imitators and left a cynical, horrible destruction in its wake.
I'm going to give it its stay in court
website.
I'm going to give it its stay in court myself. So I've got some books here to show off. Almost everything is going to be in the auction. So I managed to, Sunday is the best deal day. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants, if I got offered so much for, and I almost spent my budget. I didn't want to do what I did last time and spend down to my last dime. So I got some good books. I couldn't get everything I wanted. At the very end of the auction, one of the last booths I stopped at offered me an entire box full of trade paperbacks for $150, which, had I had the money at the time, if it was the morning, it would have been a great deal, because of some of the stuff they had. Still, I managed to pick some up, and they gave me a pretty decent price on it. The trade paperbacks we've got, well, you know what? I should actually turn my my green screen off so that doesn't mess with the colors. And we'll do this right here. So you're still there. I have the Howard the Duck. It's a paperback omnibus, and it's got everything, including his first appearances, Howard the Duck 1 through 16, the annual number 1, the Treasury edition Howard the Duck, and Giant Size Man Thing 4 and 5. So there is a lot of material here, man. Here's the reprints right here. I can put it up, and it'll get there.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's a lot of material here, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Managed to get this. One of my favorite miniseries in the 1980s, I believe we had one of these before, but this is Squadron Supreme.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you okay, so in the book Superman or Superboy, son of Kal-El, he says, "You didn't do enough for Earth, Superman. You're a crappy hero." And it's like Superboy wants to take over the world, and meaning like he wants to protect it to the point where people aren't doing shit for themselves. Squadron Supreme, this storyline is basically, what if the Justice League decided to solve all the world's problems? So we got that going on, and that is awesome.
Very cool.
Eric and I have sung the praises of this story so much. I thought I've got to get this in there. Share the love for, of course, $10 pop. But there you go. We got the
Korvac Saga.
Korvac Saga. Yes, this
get it all in one shot.
Is freaking incredible. I've actually got a copy myself, so I do hope this sells. I don't need to, but that it's actually the only book here that I have a copy of myself. So I'm like, if I thought I had the money, I would have gotten myself a copy of the Howard the Duck. This might actually find its way to my shelf, but it's the Jay Lee Inhumans.
Paul Jenkins. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's a lot of good stuff here. This one might actually, because I'm an Inhumans fan, and I don't have this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've had one of these before, but we've got the Monster Frankenstein.
Okay.
And these are all of the things it reprints here.
Okay. That's a pretty good size.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to work with here. And then I thought this book looked fun. He's a fun character, but we've got the Impossible Man. Now, once again, it's like a paperback omnibus because it reprints damn near everything you need.
Yeah. Fantastic Four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's like 12 issues.
Yeah, all of them are pretty big. When I go out and I'm looking for trade paperbacks, generally I'm looking for the telephone books, the Marvel Essentials, the Showcase Presents, none to be had. The last book, or the last booth I stopped by, was selling books to a point where I could put them as dollar books or 50-cent books should I need to, although that's cost. So, yeah, but I did find some interesting things, or at least I think so. So my whole point in when I was purchasing this, basically, if it was a comic book, I wanted to make sure that if I paid $1, I could make $2. Basically, that's it. I mean, that's business, right? So I found this. Here we go. We have Dial H for Adventure Comics, Dial H for Hero.
Very nice.
I noticed that there's an audience, so I started trying to pick up some Star Trek.
Yeah.
I noticed that was written by Tony Isabella.
Yeah.
You know, I got a couple of those.
Okay. No, I was going to mention too for folks out there. I mean, the Adventure Comics or Dial H for Hero is great to pick up because they're basically all single issue, self-contained stories. And they're just good classic 22-page, superhero fare. With kids who stumble upon the hero dial and turn it, dial it and turn into a random hero. So I'd almost say, for the youngins out there, if you really like Ben 10, pick up this version of Dial H for Hero. There are a lot of similarities to it. What was that? Yeah, and hello to Helium. Hello, Chris Bolton. Welcome, Mr. Grant. That Squadron Supreme book will be on sale at some point. I don't know if it'll be in next Saturday's auction or another Saturday, but you will have an opportunity to.
I just made the scroll. That's what I was doing. I was going, okay, today's the 22nd. So I was going Monday the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. Okay, so next Saturday's 28th. Okay, got it. All right, so I can't do that whole 7 days in a week. Next Sunday is going to be 29. I had to count it because dumbass. Yeah. All right, here's a series that this booth had a whole bunch of. So I was like, you know what? we haven't actually had these
Oh,
guys.
yes. So
We haven't had Young Justice.
Yeah, that's still So anybody hasn't read it, this is my preferred. When I think of Young Justice, it's the Peter David Todd Knock series of Young Justice. Fantastic stuff. I know, Todd Knock's art sometimes is kind of a take it or leave it. Oh, later issue of Guardians of the Galaxy. Nice.
Yep.
That's right around towards the end of the series because I think it went 61 or 62 issues. So that's right towards the end of the series. Oh, the Good Justice Society of America, Jeff Johns. That's fantastic. I think isn't that that issue is focused on Commander Steel, right?
Well, that is Commander Steel on the front. Yeah.
Well, I know it's him on the front, but is it?
Yeah, I just looked in and
on him and what happens to his family.
And we have Star Trek number 35.
Oh, nice.
I tried to pick up all of the Star Trek.
Mark Waid?
Lynn Wine.
Oh, Lynn Wine. Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I saw a W.
Yeah, Lynn Wine and Gray Morrow. So.
Okay.
Speaking of Peter David and Greg Mock, we also have Young Justice number 23.
Good. Oh, that's kind of cool. So that's when Arrowette goes to their version of the Olympics and takes on a country that is throwing in ringers of kind of superpowered ringers to win gold medals. It's a fun issue.
Number 10, and we have number 11.
Yeah, good stuff.
We have Marvel Comics presents The Midnight Suns Vengeance.
It's none more black.
Oh my God, it's so black, it's like dark black.
Yeah. Can we, pour one out for, the Spinal Chap drummer who, passed away recently?
First Wave, which of course you see Doc Savage, the Spirit, and Batman teaming up.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting.
I thought, when I saw that cover, I was like, yes.
What time period was that?
What time period or when was it published?
Well, I mean, was it like pre New 52, post New 52?
Yeah, it was pre 52.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It almost looks like it takes place in the 40s too. Young Justice number 2.
Very cool. Nice.
And we have Young Justice number 12.
Excellent.
And we have Young Justice number 25.
Great. Yeah.
Young Justice number 9. Young Justice number 27. And Young Justice number 15. Basically, I picked up.
I have to look to see if I've got some gaps to fill in my Young Justice.
Young Justice number 29.
Yeah.
Young Justice number 26.
Yeah.
All because I know somebody in our group loves Superman. Nerdy, what's up? I made sure that if I saw a cover that I hadn't sold yet, this is Superman Secret Origin, told by Jeff Johns. By the way, Eric does hate this book because he tries. Well, here's the thing: they made The Perfect Origin with John Byrne's Man of Steel,
right?
And apparently
they didn't like it, and so they go to the movie Origin instead.
Well, from what I have heard, Jeff Johns is very much a fan of pre-Crisis DC. But pre-Crisis DC, it was fine for Silver Age. It was a mess when you're trying to make a narrative universe. Pre-Crisis doesn't work. Do you know what does work? Secret Files and Origins. Every dang time. These books are thick and they're awesome. And this one is Secret Origins Life in Hell.
All about the DCU villains. Interesting. Got a Mazo on the front there too.
Frank Cho is awesome. We all agree with that. But there is also a guy who draws superhero women to the point where people are like, oh, that's nice. That's very nice. And Power Girl, especially.
Yes. Ed Bennis.
Well, that is Turner.
Michael. Oh, yeah, that's right. Michael Turner. Yep. Yep. The Lightning Saga. That was a great storyline.
There we go. Just because
back when DC hired real writing talent with Brad Meltzer.
Just because. Just because. I think that's awesome. All righty. We have Young Justice number 22.
Very cool.
We have Young Justice number 30. I told you what I picked up all I could at this guy's booth as far as Young Justice is concerned. Young Justice number 18.
Yep.
We got Young Justice number 24.
Yep.
And then we have something I hadn't seen before, except in a trade paperback I've got. It's called Tales of the Marvel, The Wonder Years, and it's about Wonder Man.
I wonder who wrote that.
I do not know, but there you go. That's book 1. Because I will always pick an all-star squadron when I can. We have, there you go, the 7 Soldiers of Victory and All-Star Squadron number 29.
Very nice. Yeah, especially for people that like the Stargirl comic book, that's one worth picking up because you'll recognize a lot of characters that you've seen in the Stargirl TV show.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Let me get some. Yeah, Mr. Gantry. Yes, all the books here, or at least most of the books here, are going to see the auction. Peter J. Tomasi also did story in Young Justice. As to Hillam, First Wave was a great concept. Says Comic Boom. How do you do, Comic Boom? Will there be a Marvel book? Quite a few, as a matter of fact. But I do have to admit, I do steer DC.
I just saw one.
Mainly because DC tends to be affordable. In all honesty, the speculators drove a whole bunch of stuff up with those. But okay, so we got, where does England team find these books? I've never heard of some of these. That villain's book looks sweet, says MK. Well, today I found them at the Megacon. I spent $52 to go shopping. Not my smartest, but in all honesty, I walked around. I looked at and took pictures of cosplayers and such like that, and that was nice. Looked at, you know what I like? I like Artist Alley as well, where you go see all the new books and such like that that people are creating. Justice League Quarterly number 1, really good book, by the way. Secret Origins, I'm a big fan. I know you guys are probably getting tired of them, but here's the Secret Origins of Adam Strange and Dr. Occult. I don't care who you are. You probably have a soft spot for Liefeld Captain America covers. And this is from that Heroes, what was that? Heroes Reborn or whatever it's called.
What in the holy hell? Is that a floating head, or
I think that's on a body.
Was it like a mask that got knocked off? Because otherwise it looks like a head growing out of his thigh.
It does. That really does look like a random. Okay, hold on. Because it looks like there's an arm growing out of the Red Skull's neck as well.
Okay, so
I can't make heads or tails. This is one of the worst covers I have ever seen. There's no indication of anything where body parts are falling.
Yeah, just okay.
How do you draw a cover and go, I need a random face and hand? Hey, what if I made the hand kind of look like it's growing out of his dick?
I don't know. So, yeah, hey, welcome, Hominus. Welcome, Dominic.
Hello.
Good to see you guys come in.
By the way, yeah, I'll probably have the cosplayer thing up, but with more discussion on the other channel after I get everything loaded. We got Guardians of the Galaxy number 50. Apparently they had some I hadn't picked up yesterday.
Nice. With the cardboard stock cover there, nice and shiny. Lita looking great on there.
Young Justice issue number 48 with, I kid you not, this was pointed out to me by Howler Mouse.
Oh yeah, Kid Lobo.
Yeah. There you go. We have Marvel Comics Annual 2001, The Almighty Thor. Yeah. This is 90s, guys. Look at the freaking muscles on this.
Well, look at the head is weird on it too. the way that it's kind of twisted to the side.
That's so 90. That's so 90s. It's
It-
2001, but that's a
oh god,
90s.
actually just looking at the body starts becoming like this optical illusion for me, because it looks like the torso is twisted in the wrong direction. It literally looks like he's got front butt.
I got it. Oh my gosh, look at that. Yeah, look at that with the two things. Okay, so by the way, this is another really horrible cover.
Yeah.
But you know what he looks like? Okay, and you guys by all means, please tell me if I'm wrong here. If you have played Batman Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, you know the Titans. Look at that. The Titan creatures that come after Batman. He looks just like them, with the tiny little waist and the big freaking torso with more muscles than the human body actually has.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I think the Kid Lobo is left over from is it called Sins of Youth event? So basically, it was an event where, not Faust, crap, that kid little jackass.
Oh, Clarion.
Clarion casts a spell, basically turns the Young Justice characters into adults and turns the Justice League and other superheroes and what have you into kids. And I think, everything kind of gets reversed except I think Lobo for a while. I think that's what Kid Lobo is, or came from.
I know you guys,
Richie
you
Rich.
guys aren't huge into Richie Rich, but
how rich can you get? You'll never know until you've met this young boy. Richie Rich is his name. Down, down, down in the Rich Hall of Fame. His bank account is as rich as his name. Now it's rich.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, with Wolfhound, yeah. So Wolfhound was a character that got created and shows up in either Annual 1 or Annual 2. And that's where we find out that Shamrock, who was in the whose first appearance was in the Contest of Champions little annual event, is still alive in the future. And she's been basically living on what's left of Ireland and Earth. And Shirley and the Wolfhound is kind of like the Irish protector and what have you. And he winds up, after kind of meeting, joining the Guardians for a little bit.
Now, sometimes I got to admit, I pick up books targeting people. I know Nerdy Texan likes Superman, so I buy the Supermans. When I was looking through, I went and pick up any Superman that I don't remember. If I remember we had it, I didn't pick it up. But if I know that we never had this issue in the auction before, I'll pick it up.
So did Lex get a dose of Smilex?
That's what it's looking like. And by the way, I will always pick up the Alex Ross Justice Societies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks, however, that this one has a little,
it's a little beat up, a couple cover ticks.
What that looks right there, that is like a bead of water fell on.
Yeah, but Liberty Bell still cool.
Let's see, we have also another title I always pick up. We have Teen Titans issue number, 14. I love the Justice League at this area. I'm very happy that you guys seem to also. This is not a rolled comic. What sometimes happens is when a comic is pressed, it goes flat, and that's what happened with this one. And this is Justice League 3
or 2?
No, 207.
207. Yeah, 207.
Yeah. And then we have Justice League Annual number 3.
Oh, okay. Let's see what you've got going on there. Oh, there's a there's good old Steel again, and Gypsy, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, this is the Detroit Justice League. So, but this one isn't. This is issue number 197.
Ah, yes, that's part of my favorite run, and that is George Perez, kids. So make sure to bid high on that.
Hey, guess what?
It's the third part of the fantastic. Oh, yes. Oh, God, now you're really talking about my youth. Yes, this is a 3-part George Perez, Jerry Conway story. You get JLA of Earth 1 and Earth 2.
And we have issue number 15.
Yeah.
The Teen Titans.
I could go on for an hour talking about that.
I love Tales of the Green Lantern Corps. I love this annual. It's pretty good. As it was pointed out to me today, it's got an Alan Moore story into it. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. I was talking to Maranya about how, I had an entire run of Iron Man and the Armor Wars on Friday I had to put back. And turns out I went back and guess what? Here we go, guys. We've got
oh boy,
Iron Man 250. Not all of them, but at least this lot was. Iron Man 256. We have Iron Man 257. And here's Iron Man 258, where we start the Armor Wars 2. And here's 259. We have issue number 260. Issue 261.
Sad Iron Man.
262. And here's issue number 2. Whoa. Okay, here you go. 263. 264. And there's a little moisture right there. I got to point that out when it comes in. 264.
Yep.
And we have
here
issue 265. So we do have the entire storyline of Armor Wars. I learned my lesson. Don't pick up a whole bunch of True Believers for more than, but I thought this one was cool. Power Man and Iron Fist. This is their first meeting, kids. All righty.
You're sending that one to Zach for Christmas, right?
Of course, right. She-Hulk, she's so hot right now.
Oh, yeah, nice. Issue 11.
Issue 11, yep.
Thank you.
These are probably going to be between $5 and $10 each, depending. I've got to check them out. They have a subscription fold in them. I was so excited to get this little bit of a lot. Alrighty, so what we have here is Adventure Comics, issue number 341.
Oh, cool.
I know, right? We have issue number 337, where, hey, look, it's the wedding between Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad.
Yeah, with Ultra Boy and Phantom Girl trailing behind.
We have Superboy meeting with a legion of super villains. All righty. And you know what? Nobody liked Triplicate Girl, so they turned her into Duo Damsel, and we've got the death of one of her clones here.
Oh, nice.
As they go against Computo.
Yeah. Then, of course, she winds up becoming Triad again in the Legionnaires era.
Yeah. Let's see. How was Megacon? It was fun. I enjoy it. I looked at too many comics, but I did get to see a lot of cosplayers but I talked to my wife. I said, I prefer you there because what will happen is I'll get into this big booth of comics that might have a sale and I will lose track of everything except for looking.
Yeah.
And they get pissed because I'm not a kind of guy who go, well, that looks interesting. I'll come back to it. No, I pull it out because I might forget. So everything that I find interesting, I pull out. So if so if I go to like 10 books, I might have a big old pile and then I'll wheedle them down. So this pile will go. Yeah. I got a good amount though.
Yeah. Well, and it's less awkward too when you've got, Gail there when you're trying to take pictures of the costume.
That is true. I actually was embarrassed a little bit. There were these girls. I thought their costumes were fine. But if they show a little skin or if they have a half shirt on or something like that, it's always embarrassing. Yeah. So I do prefer my wife or my daughter being there as a
Hey,
buffer.
can I take a picture?
Yeah, I feel weird about that.
Show it to all my friends.
I know, but I know that's what they're there for. So, I forgot. I missed a couple of adventure comics. Here's issue 232, 332.
Oh, nice.
And
eating it, not throwing it up.
we have issue 382.
Superboy and Supergirl. Oh, did he just snap off his key to the Fortress of Solitude?
You can't open my fortress with that key, Supergirl. I've booby-trapped the lock.
Da, da, da.
Another Superman's a dick cover.
Yeah. But I always love those cliffhanger covers of that age. I mean, especially because, I mean, sometimes you would get, the reason for it would be something clever, or it would just be, just a funny cover.
Let's see. Sweet Christmas, says Eric and Boyd about the Power Man and Iron Fist. He had a little crown on his head. Heroes for Hire Cole. Oh, okay.
Collection.
Marvel needs to work on She-Hulk CGI. I agree. I'm not bothered by what I've seen, actually, because the She-Hulk that I like is sensational, the Peter David run, and so forth. So storyline, it actually looks like She-Hulk. It looks like the comic.
She should have some definition and some muscle, but not Jason Aaron,
right?
As a post grr thing.
But
I'm just annoyed that it seems like they're basically tying her whole power into fear, which is not what She-Hulk has ever been.
No,
her thing doesn't work on fear.
But yeah, I agree. The CGI, when I first saw it, somebody made the meme. The first time I saw it, it's like she looks like a skinny Fiona. Do you know what she looks like? A very bad lady orc from the Warcraft movie. You remember that when that came out? Did you see that? World of Warcraft. They made a movie a few years back, and they had a lady orc, and yeah, except for without the teeth, She-Hulk looked like that. But go figure. But actually, I thought the lady orc looked better.
Yeah. Or I guess let me correct myself. Bruce's works on kind of rage. And he gets angry.
She's supposed to be able to turn it on and off.
She turned it on and off, but I know that like when they have the, again, we talk about, Jeff Johns done a lot of great stuff. His Avengers run wasn't great, and he's the one that in that Red Death storyline in Avengers, basically where this red mist gets released and kills a whole population and what have you, and like Middle America, and She-Hulk goes to try and stop things, and she winds up being affected by the mist, and they basically she basically winds up admitting, saying, no, the thing that's where Bruce is scared of rage and losing control, mine is fear. That I get triggered and go out of control because I'm scared, and it's just like stop. Oh, Marvel Tales
from the 1960s. It's one of those square bound double size books. Yeah, and it is actually in pretty good condition. So there we go. Issue number 23. Once again, Nerdy Texan loves Superman, but anybody could bid on Superman. We never had this cover here before, so I got this. This is issue number 591. There we go. Speaking of Superboy and square-bound books. Okay, honey, be safe. Love you. If she makes you stop by the Wawa, can you get me one of those mint creams or a chai tea cream thing? You know what I'm talking about. All right, thank you, honey. All right. LK says bye, Gail. All righty. Superboy, square bound, double size. Kapow.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed.
Now, also remember that I really do try to get most of these books at a price where they would fit the $2, the $3, the 1, 2, 3, 5.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, then I got the big dogs. There is a problem. But as Eric said when he saw it, I don't care. That is so awesome that you got 80-page giant number 10, the Superboy issue.
Yeah.
This is actually a classic cover, this one. And it has been mimicked and redone many times. Some books might not impress you, but when you see one that is, this has to speak how kids do, this has to be a 9/8. And I saw it and I was like, yeah, that's something. And I have a feeling that if they're going to move forward with Thor movies, Jane Foster is going to be called Thor, and Thor is going to be known as Thunderstrike. Look at this thing. Look at this. I literally bought this because holy crap.
But wasn't Thunderstrike Eric Masterson?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, it's MCU. Don't care about that.
Well, I know MCU don't care, but yeah.
Look at
they're killing off Thor so they can replace Thor with Thor. I mean, well, let's be honest. That's exactly what they're going to wind up doing.
She-Hulk number 45.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, that's when Byrne has come back to the book.
Yeah. That guy should make a book called Thunderstrike. Oh, that one guy you're talking about, Tim Lim?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, love the cover design. So cool. Says cartoons. Hey, Asher, what's up? Oh, hey, Ash, what's up?
Hey, Ash.
By the way, feel free to jump in if you want. The story of Warcraft was good in RTS, first 2 expansions. I actually have no idea. I saw the movie, but I never played the game. Thunder. Oh, my gosh, dude. Okay, so if you're at a convention and you've got the money to buy a cool book and you're like excited for it, don't think about it just because it's the first booth you stop at. Buy that. Okay, seriously. Yep. I walk into this one guy. It was the guy who had the 50-cent books, right? I wasn't going to stop there first because I already spent some time. And he had He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. First issue of the miniseries and first issue of the ongoing series. The miniseries was at DC, the ongoing at Marvel. And I looked at them. And they were one was 50, one was 40. And he says, if you take them both, I'll drop the price for you. What do you think? 70, 65. And I was like, yeah, that sounds that sounds good. 30 each. I think my crowd would like the He-Man. I mean, you guys are basically a lot of people here are of that age, or at least remember the cartoons and the comics and prefer the not Kevin Smith version, basically. So I was thinking, I said, you know what? This is the first booth, man. I can't blow the store. I can't blow the budget on the first one. He goes, I said, if I go, I come back, you do the same deal? He says, yeah, if the books are here. And I went, okay, thinking, yeah, they'll be there. No, they won't. No, they won't. Neither will that freaking $80 Thundercats number 1. Yeah. But there you go. Picked up this once again because we never had this book on the auction before. It's Action Comics number 750. And I got to tell you, dude, that is a great freaking cover.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That is sweet. And also just in excellent freaking condition, dude. Look at that.
It does look pretty good.
I was very impressed with this guy's books. I've got more that I bought from that guy's booth. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, I shall show you another Peter. Nope, not Peter David. This is the Dan Slott She-Hulk, but Dan Slott She-Hulk was good.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Slott She-Hulk was good, and then Peter David followed up. Kind of went away from some of the lawyer stuff. And then got picked back up. I think it was the next volume was Charles Soule. Yeah, I think it was Charles Soule, and his was good. His was good as well.
Also, we have Justice League America issue number 210.
Yeah. And of course, that's where we got Southpaw, who recently showed up in the most recent issue of Fantastic Four and got her, well, not her arm ripped off, but lost the
Here
gauntlet.
is Justice League 211.
Very nice.
I know these are excellent condition, by the way. This is from that same guy. Here is issue number 213.
Okay, out in the cosmos again.
And we have issue number 214. And I sold issue number 216 yesterday. But here's issue number 215 for the person who bought it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have the whole story. There you go. Also, this was something I picked up because I actually have, I believe, 1 through 10, except for I'm missing issue number 5. And now they're ready to be sold as a set, at least. And this is Machine Man number 5.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So we got some more Jack Kirby coming up.
I was going to say, yeah, I thought that's still Kirby.
Mm-hmm. Once again, Superman books that we haven't had on auction here before. This is issue number 714.
Mm.
There you go.
I cannot make out who the hell signature is that on the cover. Rodier?
Yeah, I don't know
who that is.
Like I said, sometimes I target people. I'm not going to say whom, but we've got an Adam Hughes Vampirella. And Adam Hughes Vampirella. Then we have She-Hulk number 20.
And that is the slot's still on there.
Yeah, it's a slot.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. But I love that cover. It's a really good cover. And then we have from the Peter David, we have issue number 32.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then I have the first appearance of Suntar Fell from X-Wing Rogue Squadron, issue number 21.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's Dark Horse Kids, so that means the Star Wars comic's good.
It also means that this character is going to show up on the TV show, and all the people are going to go fucking nuts for it when he does. And so there you go.
You've kind of gotten rid of most of the old extended universe, and
they're bringing them back. And these are the comics. Anyway, this one was popular last night, so when I had the chance to buy their last copy of it, I said okay. But here we have another Cyber Frog from Harris Comics. This is the Volume 2, Issue 1 of Cyber Frog.
We'll start warming up those credit cards.
And then now I do believe this is the way you want She-Hulk to look.
Yeah.
Now I know
Comics was asking, is that Dynamite or Harris on the Vampire?
Well, that I believe was Harris. Yeah, it's a Harris Vampirella cartoon and comics.
Yeah, just wanted to get that in.
Vampirella hot. I want me some Vampirella, says Hominus. Yep. How you doing, Jonah Arts? What's up? And this is the way you want She-Hulk to look. I kid you not. I'm worried about this book because I don't know how you guys are going to take to it, because this book is soaring right now because of all the excitement around She-Hulk. And She-Hulk, in my opinion, as much as I hate it because I can't get my number 1 back because it's pricing me out, I think She-Hulk is finally getting her due. As far as I think the value of her books are rising to the point where they should be. But we do have She-Hulk number 100. And this is the way She-Hulk should look. Yeah. Muscular but feminine, and then there you go. But yeah, we got 100, and as you can see, once again, it is in excellent freaking condition. So there you go.
And everybody should sort of recognize that cover because it's basically doing an homage or ripoff, depending on your perspective, of the Iron Man one.
Iron Man that we had. Yeah, let me see if I can. I think I have a side by side here. Let's see. All right, here we go. We have a side by side.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop clearing.
Although I thought you'd be ranting about that She-Hulk.
What do you mean? Why would I rant?
Well, it's not a true 100.
But it's She-Hulk. Yeah. Oh, actually, I did back when this came out. I said the same thing. There's no freaking such thing as a She-Hulk number. I did. I went through the whole thing, but I'm played out on that one. Let's see. On England team, what about my books? Do you still have them? Yeah, actually, I have them in a. I think I have them. Jonah, don't quote me on that. I do not know. Let me check. Let me check and make sure you have the cash now. Okay, I don't see the bag, so I may have put them back into circulation there, Jonah. Sorry, man. I would guess that they got put back into circulation. Let's see, because the bag was right behind me, and the only one I see is Cumberbatch. So yeah, yours got put back into circulation. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I wonder if there will be major tussle for that She-Hulk 100 like there was for She-Hulk number 3. That depends. Venkman kind of got bulldoggish. I guess he was trying to fill out a collection, and he was fighting against another bulldog who is needing the in their collection. Not going to name names. Yeah. Another Superman that I think we had one in the auction before, but it was a beat up copy. But that is issue number 775, which is actually, this is a rarity these days. The reason why this book went up is because the story is good and people wanted to see it. Look at that. Once again, in freaking excellent condition. I don't know if you guys are going to get tired of these two books. I sold one last night. I went back, and as I'm going through, I saw both of them. And I was like, you know what? I've got to pick them both up. I do. I have to. Now, on one of them, you might see some white stuff over the indicia, whatever they call that, the Marvel logo. I never learned how to say that name.
Indicia?
Indicia or Indicia. That sounds better. Indicia. Yeah, this is just, I was trying to take off price tags. Yeah. Okay. So
think about it.
And there we go.
Oh, and you got both.
So yes, I will be selling them as a set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An early variant, kids.
Yep.
So one with the heroes and villains and one with the normal folks.
Yep. Very happy.
Friends and family, that's what they call it. Yeah, friends and family.
I did manage to get a book. It's kind of funny because I was like, it was like, what can you spend kind of thing. Like it was late in the auction. You got to go for it. Try to get the sales. I sold this book. It was slabbed. I sold it for about $100. But I got it for myself because I like to collect the first appearance of the female superheroes and so forth, so on. So I managed to get my first appearance of Vixen back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty good condition.
I got it half price. So I was like, fuck yeah, let me take that. Oh, no, it's in excellent condition, man. Look at this. Yeah. It's actually in better condition than the slabbed one.
Yeah. Now, is that a little tick in the...
No, that is actually, look it up.
Okay.
Every copy, it's just like a little color right there.
Okay.
But look it up. That is every comic book. Yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, I could get that. It's like, that is so freaking perfect. So yeah, there you go, gang. That was my shopping spree. Damn near every book you saw is going to be in the auction. I can't think of anything that maybe the Howard Duck. The Duck might not show up because I do want.
Might not show up this week. You know?
Say again.
I said might not show up this week.
Yeah.
Once you have a chance to read it, then maybe it'll come up in circulation.
Yeah, instead of a 15, it'll be a 10 or something like that. Yeah, after I read it. But I'm very happy with that. I want the back together. Oh, yeah, I know, right? Cartoon. Everybody wants Mary Jane and Spider-Man back together. They deserve
the cartoons and comics, you want them back together in this day and age. You know who they would get to write them. Are you sure you wanna wish that into being?
Yeah. Hey, Jonah, I'll tell you what. Since I put the books back into circulation, I'm in a good mood. Keep the money, hold the money, and next week, since I put them back there and you're all set to pay, like, I'll let me get you free shipping on that. Usually I'd send, like, if I do something wrong, somebody else send them a DM, so I'm not saying this over the video, but yeah, I'll do that for you next week if you find something you like or something there. So
yeah, so cartoons and comics, yeah, Vixen, and it's interesting too. I know I read something a little while back making the argument, and it was a good argument that she arguably is one of the most powerful superheroes in the DC universe because of her ability to, basically channel the power of any animal with that amulet, and in the current iteration too, she can also have multiple ones, going on. So she can, have the, strength of an elephant with the speed of a cheetah going at the same time. It's, so again, I mean, if you really think about it, you play around with the power set. She is certainly, could be considered one of the most powerful heroes in the DC universe.
I kind of like when they give them limitations a little bit more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, to me, the easiest limitation is you can only have, only be channeling one animal at a time.
But still, she could get the speed of a cheetah and run up, switch to the strength of an elephant or even a blue whale, and
yeah. But again, the problem is, she's not often portrayed that way. Is kind of one of the big problems. I will admit, I read. Oh, it was that DC series that was not that it wasn't the history of the DC universe, but it was something else where it was like sort of an anthology in terms of like it was a story like focusing on a different character like every 3 or 4 issues. So it was like every 3 or 4 issues was like a story arc for a particular character, and I want to say it might have been written by Jeff Thorne. And it was a really good Vixen story. No, it came out like in the last couple of years.
Oh, okay. Is she limited to Earth animals? I hope so. I really do hope so. I mean, this is a mystical amulet on Earth. It just wouldn't make sense that she. And plus, what would you classify as a animal if you're going to take it to space?
Well, again, though, that comes down to DC editorial and who's writing it, and now that Jonah, you bring that up, that was one of the arguments in terms of her being one of the most powerful heroes in the DC universe is that, oh yeah, she could channel the power of a Kryptonian whatever, and suddenly be as strong or stronger than Superman. So again, it's all about what limitations, what do you take away from everything that you add on to it? And, again, that's something that, current writers are absolutely horrible with because it seems so often they wind up kind of writing the end of the story and then, kind of going, okay, well, then what power set, does this person need in order to be able to do that at the end instead of, figure it out. Especially Miles Morales has been really bad. Is another example with this. The way that they have kind of continued to add powers and just build him up.
They don't understand what's missing from Miles Morales isn't a power set; it's a personality. They have never. You want to see a what if Miles Morales? What if Miles Morales had his own identity? That's what we need. It's just gross negligence on their part. I actually believe that Miles Morales is a good character. I just think he's had bad writers from the very beginning, including Michael Bendis. Actually, Michael Bendis was a bad writer on Riri Williams, too. Mm-hmm. Riri Williams could be a good character. Hey, how do I know? Check out my video if I wrote Riri Williams on this channel or on Old Man Comics.
Well, I mean, you can almost pinpoint, that's when Brian Michael Bendis turned into a bad writer, is when he got children.
Yeah. By the way, If I Wrote is possibly the one video series that I get most requested. Hey, do that again, because that was kind of cool. And I was thinking, if that were to happen, I'd have to modernize it.
Yeah.
So I thought of 10 ways DC Comics destroyed Batman, 10 ways DC Comics destroyed Green Lantern, so forth and so on. And then 10 ways to fix it would be my If They Wrote. So I have actually been thinking about how to approach these videos that you guys have been requesting. That's one of them. Then I got to find time, because Gail has become a kind of a time suck as far as all this is concerned. I told her, I said, at some point in time, you're going to forget that this is my job. And so she'll be like, hey, we got to go out today, and we got to go. It's hard to find time to make videos these days. Ash says all Miles needs is a good writer. Same thing all Marvel Comics needs. That is way too true. By the way, did you know this book is good? I know, right? I knew I would get that reaction from you.
Glad I hadn't taken a sip of water there.
Here's the thing. Do you know that every Faith book I read after this sucked? Not just was, sucked. That one was good.
Have you looked at the novel? The Faith YA novel?
Why would I do that?
Oh, good Lord, it's terrible. I read the preview and couldn't stop laughing at how bad it was.
This Faith thing, I was going to put it on eBay. I don't know how it made it up to my desk. I am surrounded by books that I need to fix. It's just, have you ever just looked at I've got a big old mess surrounding me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, mine's kind of better right now, but yeah. I mean, I've got boxes piled up over in the corner right now.
I literally lost a trade paperback. I cannot find it for the life of me. That's how bad it is.
Well, and this is a box of comic books that I need to go through and read and catalog.
Reading comics, I hear, is fun. Someday I should start that again.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, because if anybody ever used the argument on me, you don't read comics, I would have to be like, well, okay. Yeah. Not today. I don't. It does seem like I haven't been reading them recently.
Yep. MK, I know that book you're talking about, Rocket Girl. It was a pretty good book. It was a kind of a cool, interesting premise. And it was, I think it was an Image book. And there were 2 series with the story. So the basic storyline was this girl. So in a future society, everything's more or less kind of like run by young people, and so she's a cop in the future, tracking something down. She winds up going back in time to basically stop the person who was, I think, creating, who would wind up being responsible for time travel. And so she winds up getting, basically thrown back to modern day New York, to stop it. And so her interactions with it and this person, it was definitely an enjoyable book. And I know I had all of the first series, and I think part of the second. Up here.
Okay. Enjoyed Matt Kent's Ninja. Yeah, they had some pretty stuff. Valiant, what a waste of potential. Yeah, they really screwed the pooch. If you go back to the 2000 stuff, I had some Robert Venditti, Exo Manowar. Incredible. I forget who commissioned those videos, but they commissioned that I do a review of the first storyline. It was awesome. So I read through them. And that is a great freaking series. The Exo Man-O-War. Of course, I am a Venditti shill at this point. But it's only because I have never read a bad Venditti book. It's not because I did meet the guy. But he was nice. He signed the books, that the Hawkman books and everything. Let's see, but yeah, great stuff from Valiant in the beginning in the 2000s. There's a book called, he was talking about that. How would Ash write Miles Morales? That's an interesting question. Ash, come on and answer it. Hamilton came to our town, and I hate everyone because it's a beach to find parking. Rhaegar, yeah, it's coming to our town as well. I don't know if we're going to be able to afford $300 tickets, though. Holy shit. MK saying, yeah, okay, right on. Surprised they never did a follow-up to it. It was definitely good. What's going on with the world other than Megacons and unboxings? I don't have any Megacon stories today. I didn't meet anybody. It was mainly just taking pictures of cosplayers, which I can't find the wire that hooks up my phone to the computer, or I was going to show off the pictures. I got pictures. And I thought it would be kind of cool to share, but unfortunately, I don't know. And this never works. Hey, look, that was pretty. Oh, wait, it is working. That was a pretty sweet. What's that Autobot's name? The yellow guy, Bumblebee. There you go. Somebody made themselves a Bumblebee outfit. The thing is, I don't take a lot of cosplay pictures unless it's something odd. Oh, they're not. What? You're only letting me go to one? Come on, where's the gallery? There we go. Like here's Pee Wee Herman and Dottie, but it's the Pee Wee Herman and Dottie from the movie at the end of Pee Wee's Big Adventure. So the guy's actually Josh Brolin's dad. What's James Brolin? And I thought that was kind of cool. So I always go for this guy. I couldn't freaking believe. He might as well just have a t-shirt that says I hate gay people and black people, because he is his favorite commie leader.
That's a bold choice in Florida.
Yes, it is. Kid, I mean, we're filled with pissed off Cubans. So yeah. And this guy's walking around dressed up. This was a pretty impressive Iron Man suit.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure if Marania was here, she could tell us what era.
No, that's the original.
Or the original? Okay.
From the movie, remember?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to answer, MK, so I actually had to look it up. So yeah, so they did 5 issues as an arc. And then a year later, they came back to do another 5 issues. And amazingly, they actually started with issue number 6. So there's 10 issues in total, spread out basically into 5-issue arcs. So yeah, it's worth picking up if you can find it.
I thought this was pretty original for a Comic-Con, but I'm trying not to get the glare there.
Yeah.
Come on, focus.
Focus. Okay. Oh, Heathers.
Heathers. Yeah, it's the Heathers. Yeah.
Oh God, yes, one of my favorite movies of all time. I have the limited edition DVD set that came out. That came in the little metal pencil case.
I love my dead gay son.
Yes. I'm not afraid to say it. Yeah. Oh, these are Ichtluber bullets. My grandfather got a case of these back in Germany. They're basically do nothing. They'll basically just kind of barely break the skin, just cause a little blood. Yeah, it'll be great.
I don't know how to access my photos on this. I know I took more pictures than that.
They're going to have to send my SAT scores to San Quentin.
I like my favorite line from that movie is my teenage angst now has a body count.
Yeah.
That is the best. What is that?
Yeah. But I mean, what's great about that movie is, and I highly recommend anybody go watch it today. It has as much relevance in terms of peer pressure and high school dynamics and the way that adults perceive teens and what have you today, if not, that as much as it did before. And nice, good. That's a pretty good Batman and Batgirl.
The Batgirl was Arkham Knight, and it was the only Arkham Knight Batgirl I saw. So I thought, okay. Batman is never an odd. I'll tell you one thing that made me really happy is that there were no Deadpool cosplayers.
Wow. Yeah. So I don't know. Did you ever catch any of the episodes of the Heathers TV show that they tried to put out?
No.
Oh yeah, it was interesting because it had completely flipped the dynamic in terms of the popularity. So the popularity was all the people we kind of scream about now, basically it's totally making fun of the whole diversity and inclusion stuff. Oh yeah, nice, from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mm-hmm. That's Columbia.
But basically people read out on it, and something happened to that. Basically, it quietly went away. They showed like 2 or 3 episodes. I want to say it was like on Spike or whatever Spike was called at the time, or one of the low end cable networks. And got killed off.
It won't let me put up a regular. There you go.
Another Rocky Horror Picture Show one.
Yeah, this is Riff and Magenta, and I thought they did pretty well with it, but they're not letting me.
Yeah, it was there for a split second.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to show off all of them, by the way. What the hell is this? Oh, I just thought they put some work into their they put some work into their costumes, so I thought they were cool. But apparently, I got a side picture, so it's not.
Right now, it's just a bunch of pixels. Oh, it just kind of flipped around.
Yeah, if you guys know what this is, by all means. Okay. Now
well, I can't tell because you're just all pixelated.
Oh, I'm all pixelated?
So, yeah. You can't make it. At least I can't make it out.
Yeah, I see that. The YouTube is off. It's funny because StreamYard, it's clear.
Oh.
StreamYard is clear, but no. Let's see. I barely remember that movie. Somehow the left forgets Ernesto. The Che Guevara killed tons of gay people and black people. Yes, I know. Lots of nice Batman cosplays out there. Cool costume. Arkham Knight Batgirl is yep. Saw Richard Simmons cosplay. That is awesome. It's from Rocky Horror Picture Show. I know. Wonder I had. Yeah, that was Columbia and Riff and Magenta. And they are
okay.
Can you tell who this is?
Not off the top of my head. I'm almost just going to default and say maybe it's some kind of a video game like the League of Legends.
Yeah, either a video game or a manga or something like this. But they put a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
England teen living in the 2006 era of quality. It's YouTube. It's not me. Yeah. I'm telling you, the phone is clear. Even StreamYard is clear.
Well, and it's so.
It just went from 18 HD to 56 kbs. You need to transfer those photos to your PC, and then, well, as I was saying, I don't know where the screen is, but I'm going to make a video where they're more clear. I just figured I would share them here because why not?
Yeah. Oh, Dominic, yeah, you missed his story. The other day where he confronted Tom King and lived to tell the tale.
I thought this alien costume, which by the way, they're not letting, let's see, rotate. There we go.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not bad. It's different.
Yeah. Little kid made themselves an alien costume. So
okay.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did. I met Tom King and there was a copy of Supergirl on the table. So I said, okay, you gotta do me a favor here and tell me if I'm crazy or not. You just rewrote True Grit. And he was like, you're not crazy. I did. And so we talked about the fact that both of us like True Grit and everything. And he talked a little bit to another guy before me about how all the shit that he got for Batman 50. So
rightfully so.
yeah, he understands that, and he understands also that, or at least he said some of that was brought down from on high to him. It's going to do that thing to me again. Where I've got to rotate.
Pixelating.
Here we go. Is it any clearer?
Yeah, that's better. It was for a second. Well, I mean, it just needs to focus.
Yeah, of course, I'm going to put these, but this
I see it's a blue-headed.
There we go. It's the bounty hunter from Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
Oh, okay. And I wouldn't know since I've not watched the Boba Fett series, but
apparently he's in cartoons and such like that. So
okay. Yeah, I was going to mention it was hilarious me mentioning cosplay. I happened across the Wonder Woman episode on H&I today. Was the one where she goes to a science fiction convention and they had cosplaying. It was funny seeing 70s era cosplay in it, and it's one has Renee Auberjonois, R.I.P. Okay, Willy Wonka. No,
Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I thought that was kind of funny, and I told him, I said, in 1984,
who's the fourth?
Just
the
lady was dressed as a what do you call that?
Ringleader?
Steampunk.
No, gotcha.
So what I told him, I said, in 1984, Saturday Night Live, Billy Crystal did a skit, and they were doing Snap, Crackle, and Pop, and they get mad at their audience. And because they want to do original material and people only want to see him do the commercial. And so he says, look, now you got Crackle all upset. He hasn't been this upset since Kellogg's wanted to replace Pop with a black guy named Thud. And I said, you know what? If you do this next year, one of you have to be Thud.
MK, yes, the True Grit movie from a few years back was a pretty good version.
It was really good.
Jeff Bridges plays the John Wayne role, and that's where we got introduced to Haley Stanfield, who many years later is our female Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. I was going to say Three Musketeer, but
that is Scarecrow.
Oh, okay. Again, you went pixelated, so I was just going off.
Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. I'll get all them on. So, yeah, it was good. I met I met Jim Shooter. I met a few actors and such, and had a conversation with Jason Mewes. Jim Shooter was awesome.
Yeah, too bad we didn't run into any of the Geeks and Gamers folks.
I know they were out there, but
yeah,
I'm not looking. But I'm not looking for them either. So yeah, I didn't see any of them. I did get recognized a couple of times. That's kind of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
One guy was actually he recognized me from my eulogy of George Perez. Yeah, my little moment in the sun there.
Oh, so from at the convention. Okay.
Yeah, and he was like, "You're that England team guy with I Love Comics. I watched your channel. I learned from you were there yesterday at the memorial. I thought, wow, you did a great job." I was like, well, thank you for thank you for that. But that was kind of nice. It's kind of nice, and I've had people, oh, England team, all right, what's up, Dan? Thank you. That was kind of neat, but it only happened like a few times. True Grit was great. Why am I not surprised that Tom King plagiarized it?
Yeah.
I kind of thought. I told him, I said, you know what? It's like the story I have in my head that I'm trying to put down on paper now is basically I wanted to do a character who's battling to stay alive. He's going through the stages, the stages of grief and everything. And I told him, I said, then I saw that you're doing True Grit. And I said, fuck that. I'll just plagiarize Jacob's Ladder. And he kind of laughed at that. Let's see.
Yeah.
I want to
Well,
meet
the
Jim.
thing is, too, it's not like it was the first Supergirl True Grit story either. Because if you remember, I thought that 2-issue Supergirl Future State story was very much like True
It's
Grit
very
as
much
well.
like it. Yeah. I
Because
want to meet Jim Shooter at a convention, says Dominic. He's one of my major influences as a writer and artist. He was great. I was very impressed with Jim Shooter. He didn't have anything to sell. Every freaking other book, buy my book, buy my that. Tom King wasn't like that either. I got to admit, he did have stuff. If you wanted to buy it, if you wanted to get it signed, okay, fine. And that's what it was there for. You could bring up your own books, at least 3 or 4 of them, and he would sign them for free. But if you wanted a signature and you didn't have it, guess what? Here's some comics. Just buy it for the signature. But Jim Shooter was straight up storyteller. He had everything. Also, he had Warriors of Plasma and a lot of that stuff. He had some Valiant stuff, just so you could look at it, see what he did, and ask him a question. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would have loved to have picked his brain on the new universe.
Yeah, me too. It's like, thank you very much for talking about Secret Wars, but we've heard these stories. I want to know really what happened with the new universe. What really happened with? I want to hear the story behind the first issue of Warriors of Plasma, the one that was in the card set. Let me turn off the light to put the bird to bed.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So let's see. Rhaegar. Oh, the Hawkeye chick was in Bumblebee. That I'm not sure about. She was in the True Grit remake. Haley Stanfield. He might have been in Bumblebee. Jim Shooter is the man. Ash on Comics. Yes, he is. It'd be great if he were back in one of the big two, but the current creators would have an absolute hissy fit.
No, hold on. Maybe I could show you some of this. It is mine, after all.
Yeah, let's see. MK asked, "Do they have any cool puppets at these cons?" Well, probably depends on the.
There was one. I know. Puppetine. Puppetine was there.
Was Pixel going around with Puppetine?
According to him, he was.
Okay, pictures, or it didn't happen.
Well, he would have to bring them up.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying. I'm calling out Pixel now. Pictures, or it didn't happen.
Okay, I am trying to find my video stuff because I do have video of our, or at least I was supposed to. I filmed some shit. Come on, guys, where are you? No, I actually did. Say again.
I said, have you downloaded it yet?
No, I just plugged in my my camera.
Oh, okay.
And I'm trying to find. I'm not very good at the whole opening of things, and I can't seem to find my videos.
Yeah. Hi, Miss So. Hope you're doing well. She's asking, how was the parking? Heard it was pretty crazy on Saturday.
It's horrible. I do actually have a story on that. Because of my own stupidity, I was damn near passing out. Yeah, and it was my own stupidity, hands down. So it's at the beginning of the day. I show up a little bit late, and I figured, okay, I'll park at the convention center. It'll be closer than parking at the chocolate shop nearby, because I always have to walk around to the back of the building. But the good thing is, out maybe 5 minutes, I'm at my car. So I go through, and I'm like, oh, okay, finally. Oh, they're free parking me? Fine. And it ends up in this big old field at the very freaking back. It's like beyond. I don't even know where. This isn't even in Florida anymore. It's so far away. And I get one of those pedicab people, the little bicycle things. And I'm like, I asked one guy, how much for a ride? He says $40. Said $40 I can get the exercise. And this other guy goes, I'll do 20 a head. Okay, well then here's $40. That was a dick joke. Okay, so anyway, I gave the $20. Two other people jumped in and we rode off. But since I wasn't looking where we were going, I forgot where we've been. So it's later. I've got these 2 bags of these books. We're in 2 heavy freaking bags. And I said, okay, let's go. I know I'm out at Universal Boulevard. Let me step out. And I walk all the way down across the convention center to get out, step out and go, I am not parked in this direction. So now I have to walk all the way across. And it's a big ass convention center, gang. It's freaking huge. Mm-hmm. So I have to walk all the way out. And I went, motherfucker, which side were we on? Oh my gosh, where are we? I don't. So I was like, okay, I remember we turned here. So I'll walk all over. I'll walk over here. I know where we're on the edge though. So this is not a walk that I'm going to appreciate. And I had to walk all the way across the freaking parking lot. And of course, it looks like Steve Martin in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Just me on a freaking runway. Nothing but the Florida sun beating down on my 52-year-old out of shape body. I'm sitting here stopping every time. I can actually feel my lips drying because I'm becoming just all parched out. I get to the little hill. I see the freaking field beyond. I'm like, that's not the freaking field they parked us. Where did they park us? And I turn around, and if I'm here at the very edge of the parking lot, I see the field that they parked us at all the way across to the other side. If you have ever been to Disney or Mall of America, you had to walk through all of it. That is the length of, it had to be like maybe 300 yards, just, 3 football fields.
So you were in the itchy lot instead of the scratchy lot.
Oh, exactly. So I had to turn around and I walk all the way across, and once again, sun beating down. And I'm making jokes to myself. So I'm like, you're messing with the wrong guy. Because all I could think of, except for he was in the winter and I'm in freaking Florida summertime. And thankfully, I found halfway across somebody got a complimentary wheelchair from them, and they had actually left it. So I put my books in there. I'm like, oh, finally. Oh my gosh, that's so good. And then I start walking, and halfway there, my leg said, hey, you know what? We're done now. Unless you're going to pay us, we're not doing this for free anymore. And they just kind of were like, oh, I got to sit down. So thankfully I had a wheelchair. And I thought, I could wheel myself there. I need to be in shape. I don't know. So finally, by the time I get to the car, and at this point, the car itself has been sitting in the heat, I am out. I mean, it's just, there's no moisture left in the mouth. The lips are dry. I'm just sweating. I had to take the hat off because I was overheating. I could feel myself overheating, which, of course, for a bald man presents its own problems if you're in the Florida sun. So I get to the car, open the door, put the books in, climb in, of course. I'm baking now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, open all the windows, turn on, and I start driving, and I do this bit. Just like that. And I was like, holy shit, I am literally overheating. I mean, the world is woo. So I park because I notice that they got their sprinklers on. So I parked the car, I get out, and nobody was there. Nobody was freaking, I'm walking to the car, nobody's driving by. I get into my car, nobody's driving by. I turn, nothing. I stop the car, a freaking convoy comes through. Of course, yeah, get off the side of the road. Oh, shut up. You have no idea. So I'm kind of woozy at this point. And then you think you can piss people off just by stopping at the side of the road for no reason. You really piss people off when you stop at the side of the road to go play in sprinkler. What the fuck are you doing? You're too old. Yeah. I got so many people. I didn't care. I just needed to get cooled off. So literally they had those, big ass, the ones for buildings that just spray way too hard.
Yeah.
And so I just stood there like, oh, got cooled off, caught some in the hand, drank it, and thought that is the worst tasting water in the world. Give me more.
Oh, well,
it was
your stomach won't turn on you from that.
No, it didn't. But yeah, I did actually, because the flavor was weird. I thought, what if there was plant grower or something in there? So I stopped doing that. But I just said, oh, that's so good. That's so good. Got myself cooled off. Like I am not listening to anyone. Security drives by. What you doing? I was overheating. I'm getting cooled off. Well, you need to get back in your car when I'm cooled off. Otherwise, I'm going to pass out. Said I could do it. I could. And I told him I can get in the car now, drive off the road. And he said, you got to get in the car. I did not win that argument, but it's okay. I was already cooled off. I have a question for you. Best alien movie. Well, yeah, that has something to do with my story, but thank you. Okay. It's like a scene from Seinfeld. Glad you survived.
Yeah.
I am unsubbed from a few channels I was watching that are shills for franchise movies a few months ago, and my blood pressure had improved. England teen, they are like reverse Doomcock and very mainstream. You know, Rhaegar, you know that I pretty much tend to it's not that I like everything. It's just that I can watch something on its own merit, so I'm entertained by it. But I hope I'm not shill.
No, I mean, you do show some discretion, but Rhaegar, definitely then you do not want to subscribe to MCU Direct on Twitter or watch any of their YouTube stuff, because they are 100% shills for Marvel, and it's embarrassing how
my favorite alien movie. Well, let's see. Do you count The Thing?
Yeah. Well,
as an alien movie, or is it just a horror
MK was
film?
saying best alien movie out of Independence Day, E.T., Alien, or Avatar.
E.T. Out of those, it would be E.T. If you put Aliens, it would be Aliens. But since you put that one, Alien to me is a good. I mean, I love it. It's great, I should say. Actually, there's not a movie on that list that I dislike, but for what they were going for, I think E.T. did the best. Well,
there's three good movies on that list.
It was in the sprinkler dancing slow motion. Take my breath away. Yeah.
No. England team would have been singing in the rain. Come on, let's be honest.
Which I did do at Universal once. If you were shill, I wouldn't waste my time. Yeah. I managed to cut my finger when I was putting away my clothes. That is weird.
Wow.
How do you?
That,
I cut my finger on my socks.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a story.
I get a lot of dumb injuries, and I realize I am starting to turn into my dad a little bit. As you get older, your skin gets a little bit thinner, and like every bump, every knock turns into a bruise.
Okay, I've got James Cameron made 3 of the best alien movies ever made. So one of them has to be Aliens, right?
Right.
And then it would be, would you put The Abyss on that list?
Yeah, I mean, it's an alien movie. And again, it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, overall, Abyss, and then I'm not sure what you would say the third one is. I think he's
going for Avatar.
Well, as they say, I'm not sure where you come up with 3. I can definitely come up with 2.
Avatar.
Yeah, visually, it's excellent. As I say, it's the best 3D I've ever seen in a movie.
Well, you know what? I'm not bad on Avatar. I like it. I enjoy it. It's entertaining, as I say to a lot of movies. I do think it loses something when you take the 3D out and you're just watching it on TV. But the thing is,
then you have to focus on the story, and then you
but
realize how bad the movie really is.
it actually isn't all that bad, and for what it does, it does. And I'm not one of those who go, "Hey, that's Ferngully." First of all, no, Ferngully is Dancing with Wolves. So if we're going there, let's go all the way back to the beginning, all right? And I don't even know if that's the beginning, but the thing is that a lot of movies do that. You know, when you're watching Clueless, hey, wait a second, isn't that Emma? Yes, it is. Basically, they redid a Jane Austen book or whatever it's called. And there's another one that's a freaking Shakespeare. Oh, 10 Things I Hate About You is Taming of the Shrew.
Right.
So there's always a retelling of a story. That doesn't bother me so much. And I could tell you, yeah, they
it's
probably could.
Well, it's when you blatantly rip off scenes like he did in Titanic from
Night of the Remember?
Yes.
It's the same freaking story. The whole thing's a ripoff. Oh, we're going to do a movie about the sinking of Titanic. Hey, we did that. You're stealing our story.
But beat for beat, he ripped off the scene of the old couple, you know, huddled up waiting their doom in their stateroom.
Maybe it was an homage. Maybe I have no doubt in my mind he knew he was doing it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, if you want to say rip off, homage, whatever, they're kind of the same thing. It's just one is a respectful ripping off, and another one is just see if people think it's mine.
Yeah. Well, and I will say too, for The Abyss, definitely if you're going to watch The Abyss, make sure you see the most recent director's cut remastered, because the original Abyss was great, but the final the final sequence, the final act,
when they add in all the extra stuff, it just makes everything more clear. Yeah, it's a much better movie.
Yeah, the original final act, I even remember being in the theater, you know, just like on the edge of my seat. It was so good, and I was like, oh, okay, this is all right, kind of at the end. But yeah, when again, this was one of those cases of the technology finally caught up and able to do something, and so this is one of those, you know, I'll say rare examples where being able to add stuff in after the fact, you know, once you could quote unquote do your full vision, you know, make it noticeably better.
Rhaegar says he remembers falling asleep to The Abyss as a child. I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
it's very much a grown-up story, not porn grown-up, but actual grown-up. Yeah. It's and it's a slow burn kind of film.
Yeah, well, that combined with just underwater effects in general. I mean, I've always said, I mean, one of the movies it's hardest for me to stay awake for is Thunderball. Yeah, and
I love that. That's one of my favorite.
Well, and it's not because it's a bad film, but again, it also kind of has that slow pacing, and then you get all those underwater sequences, just all that, you know, just that nice, you know, pleasant blue, you know, on the screen, you know, and if you're not fully awake, you know, for it, if you're the least bit, you know, drowsy or relaxed, boom, I'm out halfway through.
No, here's MK is saying he felt ET was boring for the first 40 minutes when he was a kid. I think our generation and maybe a generation after us, like our younger brothers and sisters, maybe we're used to, for a long time, we were used to a slower kind of movie. That's just the way it was. Even your Disney films might actually be a little bit slower than they became. I think MTV kind of destroyed that sort of film, because even with the videos and everything, it's 1, 2, 3 cut, 1, 2, 3 cut. And so they don't focus on anything. Now movies can have, in 1 2-minute scene, they can have 10, 20, 30 cuts. So it always seems like there's motion. It's like, let's just shake the keys in front of the baby. So he's more in. A lot of the movies we grew up on with like E.T. and such, or even the Superman movie. Look at the Superman movie. We thought it was fan-freaking-tastic. Didn't think it dragged when we were kids, but it was slow. If you're watching it now, it takes an hour before you first see him as Superman as he's flying out of the fortress. But by the way, also get the DVD for Superman. I'm telling you, you're missing out on some awesome freaking behind the scenes stuff, like Christopher Reeve. He was talking about how he was thinking of airplane, how he wanted to bank his body every time he turned like that, like an airplane might. Englantine, it's why some people didn't like the first Superman. Oh, hey, MK's bringing it up. Miss So saying, agreed, Ash, the additional footage. Yeah, it absolutely makes it better.
Yeah. So Ash, if you want to have that discussion on, ID4 versus Avatar, then come online and let's have the discussion. So,
Avatar beats ID4 like a freaking bitch.
Oh, please. At least Independence Day is honest about what it is. It's a science fiction disaster film. Now, I remember seeing it in the theater, the first week it came out, and crowds were just amped up for it. It was a great experience.
I was a projectionist at the time. I was there in the theaters at the time watching not just one crowd, but all of them. And yes, it was a very excitable crowd. I remember we had our watch party before it showed, and I'm not saying it was bad. I actually was entertained by it. I think that there's a lot of bad writing there. If I were to be completely honest, I would have to say it's more entertaining than good. Mm-hmm. But Avatar, goodness gracious. Here's what I'll say about that.
What you said, it's entertaining,
but here's the thing.
Avatar's not entertaining.
I think Avatar is entertaining as well. But here's where I would say Independence Day wins. Because of Avatar's length, Independence Day is an easier watch. Mm-hmm. I think if you are going for a movie, but that's the whole thing, and that's why Avatar is a little bit better. Also, I don't know, because Avatar is not necessarily a turn your brain off and kind of watch movie. Independence Day absolutely is. You can follow Independence Day while doing your taxes. So think of it. I don't know if you would take that as a positive or a negative, but that is the difference between the two of them. I don't think you could follow Avatar while doing your taxes, but you could follow Independence Day.
Again, as I say, Independence Day knew what it was. Avatar is the same level, but doesn't admit it and thinks it's more of a high art film with an important story, and it's not. But
okay, let me get this. Rhaegar, I'm going to posit an observation. There is a middle point that is divine within filmmaking. The old films sort of hit the nail on the head with longer build-up, but sometimes went on too long. I can see that.
Yeah. Marania's here.
Hey, Marania.
Does Iron Man tour again, or?
Hello to Ash.
No.
How you doing, man?
Hey there.
Hey, Ash.
Hello.
Marania, I went back and I got those Armor Wars. That was all that was there, by the way. Let's see. Thanos says, okay, I already read that one. MK says, I still never saw the Donner cut of Superman 2, which is better, that or the theatrical. Actually, no. I'll tell you what's better. Not the theatrical cut, but the extended cut of the theatrical, where you have all the extra like when he breaks into Luthor's fortress and you have the ways that Luthor is testing him. I like that version better than the Donner cut. The Donner cut has its moments. I'm not saying it's bad, but I like the theatrical version better. You guys?
Well, I admit it's been a while. I'd probably just lean more on the theatrical cut just because that's what I grew up watching.
The comfort feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Donner cut.
I recommend it. I mean, at the very least, it's a curiosity.
I do want to see it. It's never come up as an opportunity.
I think I've got the DVD around here somewhere.
Dominic says, E.T. remains one of my favorite movies of all time. It instilled in me an appreciation for slow burn storytelling. What are your thoughts on writers handling slow burn storytelling today? Well, first, I would love to say this because you're bringing up E.T. One of the things I love about E.T. is the perspective. If you watch for most of the movie, a lot of times it's told at an angle and with low shots. So it really is not just because of E.T. It wants to give you the perspective of a child who's discovering an alien. So I love that whole thing because a lot of alien movies are run kind of films, and ET's not about that. ET's about a sense of discovery, like as if you were a child learning about a new world in some ways, or learning about new people. When you see the scientist, you think he's the bad guy because all you ever see are the keys, because waist high is what children see. And so you see just that kind of thing for most of the movie until, of course, you get the big scare and ET's discovered and everything.
Yeah.
And so,
the government men are chasing him with walkie-talkies.
Yeah, right. Of course, I can't say I thought about that when I was a kid. That's why I love it so much as an adult, because of course, as an adult, when you learn a little bit, if you know things about film and such, you start to notice these little things that go on, and just makes it a deeper and deeper film. But of course, when we were kids, it was just great, let's see, but how do I feel about how they, I'm trying to think of a slow burn movie and how they, because there's not too
again, it's all about pacing, and are you actually using the slow burn to slowly build up to something and leaving good breadcrumbs, or are you just literally just wasting
meandering
of quote unquote, you think you're developing a character, but it's just going nowhere. I'll give you an example off the top of my head that I think some people would consider a slow burn film. LA Confidential.
That I don't know if I would count that as recent, but
well, I mean, it's
but it's awesome.
I mean, it's an incredible film.
The new Batman was a slow burn.
I will argue until the day I die that it should have won Best Picture over Titanic.
I will fight with you on that. Of all the things we
too.
disagree, that LA Confidential is so much better than Titanic.
Titanic. I'll fight against both of you then.
I enjoyed it. But LA Confidential is superior.
The storytelling,
but
is leagues better.
I do agree.
Sure, if you want to give Titanic best screenplay. Or sorry, LA Confidential best screenplay over Titanic, 100%. That doesn't mean best picture. It's not the same thing.
Oh, I'll give it best director, best screenplay.
You're out of your mind. Are you kidding me? After Titanic had done something no film had ever done before. Titanic took the industry into a whole new direction. Not just technology is part of directing a film. No director could have made Titanic except James Cameron, and then afterwards he taught the industry how to do things. And he did it again with Avatar, by the way. He told the industry, hey, everything you thought you knew about film, I just schooled every one of you. And now the film industry has changed because I took the lead and did something you couldn't do.
To answer the question asked, I actually agree with Ash, and we can talk about that. The Batman movie, I think, was a slow burn as well. But the thing about it is you got to make sure that you're having your character beats and your story beats. So otherwise, you are a meandering movie. Batman was not. I guess I could take off the scroll. You have to make sure that you're paying attention to your story, and even if it's just a lot of dialogue, it has to move forward at a good pace. Otherwise, it's just, come on, guys, get to the freaking point. So yeah, that's what I think about modern stuff anyway. But it's a good argument. I still think LA Confidential is the better movie. Let's see, but I'll tell you what, I'm not sad that it won in hindsight, because I miss big freaking movies winning. In all honesty, I want that, like you would see a movie and it was just so huge, you just think that was Oscar bait. Now Oscar bait is just whatever has the most politics, not the best, just the most. And it gets ridiculous.
You got to think too, like a film like Titanic, obviously it's a polarizing film. There's people that love the film, people hate the film. I think it's a matter of subjectivity. I don't think it's a matter of the quality of the film. But Titanic was nominated for 14 awards. And this was during an era where the Hollywood hadn't sold out like it is today. At least the Academy, hadn't sold out. Like legitimately the awards were given pretty credible. I mean, there's always snubs and different things, but not like today where they're just handing it out to whatever political reason.
It was in its early days of politicking, but it was also a period where certainly members of the Academy wanted to get back. Because I'm trying to think who were the best picture winners prior to that, but it was the idea of, oh wow, here's this, movie that everybody's going to see. Let's, recognize this sort of thing. For me, LA Confidential, it was, I still remember it was so funny. I was actually I was going to go see The People versus Larry Flint. And when I went to the theater, I was like, oh yeah, sorry, we don't have it today because our film broke. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, LA Confidential, it's a police thing. Okay, let me go see it. And then I just remember sitting in the theater, just absolutely enthralled in terms of this ride and the story and the way it just kind of just swept across. And the thing I love about LA Confidential is when you get to the end, everything is so well put together that you can trace back to all the moments leading up to it, and it all makes sense. It's one of the most logical films, they've ever seen, and that's just what makes it such a great movie. And they did justice to the book, because I did wind up reading the book a couple of years, 2 or 3 years afterwards. And they did a pretty good adaptation. They took a few things out, of course, but it was a very good adaptation.
I actually like the movie better. I read the book after I saw the movie, and I was, I should have done this the other direction. Another question we're getting here, and I like this question, so I want to answer it if you don't mind, guys. It's from MK. And by the way, when you're asking questions, feel free to super chat. Just saying.
Definitely.
Yeah, I do accept super chat. But MK is saying, England team, have an interesting question. Which film was darker to you, the Batman or the Joker? Ratings aside, and I think ratings aside, even the Joker is darker. If you remember at the end, at the beginning, who are you? And he goes, vengeance. And then at the end, he realizes that's not the way. The whole thing about the Batman's character arc is to go from basically a guy out seeking vengeance against crime that killed his parents, to a guy who will now stop crime and be a hero. The whole thing was him losing his darkish edge, I guess, or becoming more of a hero than he was. Now he cares about the people rather than just the vengeance part of his job. While the Joker was truly the descent of man, you saw somebody who was in trouble, who then lost the only slowly lost all threads to society, including that which would help a person like him get through society. When he lost his help at the site, I don't know if it was a clinic or whatever, but then of course his mom died, or at least he finds out that his mother's not his mother. He loses his job, his friends turn on him. So this is truly a person who you watch not just lose everything around him, everything he owns, everything dear, but then you watch him lose himself and become the Joker. So most definitely the Joker is the darker of the two movies, which I like both of them. And I am just like everybody else thinking Joaquin Phoenix, he freaking killed in that movie. That was a brilliant performance, because you got to watch that descent with him. It was I'm sorry for rambling a little bit. One of the problems I've always had with the adaptation of The Shining with Jack Nicholson is, in the book, the character Jack Torrance is written as a normal guy. He's just a normal family man with a drinking problem. You hire Jack Nicholson, it's like helter skelter. You could see it. There's just craziness behind him already. So it's not a big fall. They did a TV series with Steven Weber from Wings and such like that. A little cheesy here and there, but when it talks about the transition, it's just so much better. And Joaquin Phoenix was like that. You actually see somebody who is pushed around in life, and you can actually see the moment he cracks and kind of envelops the dark. He just kind of embraces the dark side of his life. I mean, he killed one. Why can't he kill another? So there you go. Anyway, that's my Joker. Batman.
I think those movies are almost opposites in their
Yeah.
trajectory, where the Joker is a descent of man, like the Batman is kind of like the rise.
Mhm.
You have a character that starts off with all this angst, and by the end, he's kind of grown up. It kind of like the way that movie struck me was kind of like how a lot of boys, like just myself included, like I grew up, I understand what it's like to grow up as a male. Those teenage and early like 20s years, you just have a perspective on life that differs as you age, and there's, it's called growing up, right? And I feel like he had that sort of victim mentality that's easy. The world is not down on me. And you have, at some point you have to make a choice. You have to grow up past that. And in the Joker, he doesn't. He just succumbs to it and decides the whole world can burn for all he gives a shit because of because something bad happened to him.
Miss Sozak, I did see the list of Eisners. I think of videos in order to talk about it.
How bad is it?
It's come on. I mean, honestly, what would we put in the Eisners? That's why I do the Spirit Awards, guys. That's why I do the Gabbies, which at the end of June we'll do, because we get to pick them. You guys get to pick them, really. What we'll do is we do a live show, and please show up. You tell us what your favorite comics are in all sorts of different categories, and we actually say what we vote on. The reason being is because, once again, just like the Oscars, they tend to go more for what has the most politics rather than what's the best books.
The Eisners has been so infected by that certain political crowd that they basically just nominate their friends and vote for their friends. And what the awards are, they're not even attributed to anything related towards credibility anymore.
Yeah, it's become that very much so.
And if a great book came out today, like A Dark Knight Returns, they wouldn't be able to recognize it because they would never read it, because it'd probably be written by someone who's on a canceled list, and so therefore it couldn't even be considered. So it's so insular now, and it's just everyone backpatting each other.
I'm going to get a couple others, and then we're going to talk about the Eisners. I've got the article shared here, and we'll talk about the Eisners a little bit. MK says, okay, good point. TDK versus Batman would have been better. Still, The Dark Knight kind of seems more of a story about how Batman's just proven right rather than a big old rise. As much as everybody likes to say that Batman is a dark movie, outside of what the Riddler does, it really is about the triumph of will, so to speak. I don't think the Batman is as dark as people want to believe it is. If Batman really wanted to scare his enemies, he would have dressed up like killer clowns from outer space.
Would you say, though, that the Batman at least is the darkest of any Batman movie ever made?
Probably so. Yeah.
I think that's why people say it's dark. It's just because it's of Batman films.
I'm not going to lie. I don't even know who Eisner is. Rhaegar, I will help you with that.
Rhaegar, God, you're such a troll, man. You don't even know who Eisner is.
You
he's
lie. Young. No, I did just now, so there are a few. Okay, I'm gonna go over that. No. Let's go and let's.
Would you say it's darker than The Dark Knight? I mean, that was a pretty dark, bleak film.
Okay, so here we have best short story. We have Funeral in Foam, and this is from You Died, an anthology of the afterlife. Then Generations by Daniel Warren Johnson and Superman Red and Blue. Nothing from Superman Red and Blue should be nominated. That book is just hard to look at. I Want to Be a Slob by Michael Camison and Stephen Arnold, and Too Tough to Die. And then we have Tap, Tap, Tap by Larry O'Neill and Jorge Fornes and Green Arrow 80th anniversary. Which one was that? I would have to think about that. The only one I really read was Tap, Tap, Tap. I tried to read Superman Red and Blue, but that just didn't work for me.
I'm going to tell you what the best short story, what's missing from there is, I forget exactly which issue. I want to say it's issue number 3 of the Skybound X. Chip Zdarsky did a short story based on his Stillwater comic, and it's like eight pages, and it brought me to tears. By the end, I was like, it is phenomenal. I was like,
got it.
Holy cow!
Gotta check that one out because I love Stillwater.
It's amazing what someone could do in 8 pages, and I didn't even like Stillwater.
One of my favorite stories, short stories of recent years, is Tom King's story about Hanukkah, where the American soldier has a German prisoner. The American soldier has been shot in the gut, but he refuses to die until another American comes and take the German, because the prisoner's an officer. Best single issue, Marvel's Voices Identity #1. Bullshit. No freaking way any of the voices have it, and I'll tell you why.
Just replace it.
I'm gonna take that away. No freaking way in hell a modern freaking what are they called, anthology book has anything over anything else, because at least you're getting one Riley Rosmo book, and it's a story, and it's gonna just none of.
How is that even nominated fairly? It's an anthology. It's not even like one story. It's multiple stories. So you're telling me that every single story of Marvel Voices Identity #1 is so stellar that the entire book is as good as a single issue of anything else.
You can't.
Like, it's such nonsense.
Nightwing 87, get Grayson, Tom Taylor. Man, you know what? Tom Taylor turned him into Communist Central. Mouse Guard is good. Check out Mouse Guard if you haven't done that already.
I didn't even know there had been a new Mouse Guard.
Yeah, that came out not too long ago. Yeah. Wolverine Daughter, I don't know what that is, by Quindry Press. Wonder Woman Historia, I have read Wonder Woman Historia. God, I don't even know if they've read it. Like, how did that get nominated? Best Continuing Series, Bitter Root by David F. Walker. I read a few issues. The Department of Truth by James Tynion. I read a few issues. Immortal Hulk by Al Ewing. I read a few issues. Nightwing by Tom Taylor. I read a few issues. And then we have Something is Killing the Children. Just by default, I'm going to go there. Although a lot of people do believe that Department of Truth is good. It just didn't gel with me. I'm not going to argue that. Best Limited Series, we have Beta Ray Bill. Good choice, guys. The Good Agent. Good choice, guys. Hocus Pocus. Haven't read it, so can't comment. The Many Deaths of Layla Starr by Ram V. Good choice, guys. Yeah. Stray Dogs. Stray Dogs, ladies and gentlemen. This is where they're getting it right.
Yeah.
But
and your winner.
Say again?
I said, and your winner.
Oh, Stray Dogs. No. And here we go. Oh, I saw it. Yeah. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Sorry, Tom King. You admitted to ripping off freaking True Grit. We can't let that fly, man. You can't have that be your Eisner nominated. But Stray Dogs for the freaking win. Even though, in all honesty, and once again, I can't comment on Hocus Pocus, all of them aren't bad. And I'm including Supergirl. It's not bad. It's just True Grit.
That's one where I would love to know how in the hell did the nominating committee even find that one, let alone decide it was worthy to be one of the 6 choices.
Hocus Pocus.
I mean,
hocuspocuscomic.squarespace.com. Are you kidding me? So they nominated a web comic that I've never. Well, I mean, just because I've never heard of it doesn't mean that it's not popular per se. But I mean, come on.
But Stray Dogs by Tony Fleets. Although Good Asian is good. I mean, so was Beta Ray Bill. So was Many Deaths of Layla Starr. But
have you read the Many Deaths?
Only 2 of them.
You got to read it. It's one of the best comics I've read.
The Many Deaths.
It is absolutely something that would not be on my radar. I was like, I looked at the cover and was like, this looks whatever. But then everyone's talking about it. And I finally was like, okay, I got to read this book. And holy shit. That's my pick for best comic.
Best new series, The Human Target, where everybody's pissed off because he's just fucking up characters after character. Come on, Tom. I can't. All right. Nice House on the Lake. Got to admit, I enjoy it. But in all honesty, I do not see this as an ongoing series. You have to tie it up. You have to wrap it up because this is going to grow tiresome very quickly. Not a Robots. I haven't read that one, so I can't say anything. Radiant Black is okay, but it's very typical superhero kind of stories. I haven't read Ultra Mega, although I have heard good things.
It is awesome.
Okay, so they made some decent choices here.
Ultra Mega is my favorite thing to come out as a series, but Mini Deaths being a limited series, I would have to pick. It's not my normal cup of tea, but yeah Ultra Mega is. Yeah. I can't wait for more issues to come out. Things been on hiatus forever.
Well, so that's about what I was going to say, though. I mean, does it really fall under the new series? I thought it was more of a limited series.
It's ongoing. Best
publication for early readers, Arla and Pips. I don't know any of these. Chibi Usagi. Oh, wait, I do know one. I Am Oprah Winfrey by Brad Meltzer. If it's by Brad Meltzer, it can't be titled I Am Oprah Winfrey. Do you not understand your freaking title?
They got Brad Meltzer to do an Oprah Winfrey biography.
Titled so I Am Oprah Winfrey. Is Brad Meltzer walking around with a freaking wig and a microphone?
Is it like a crime saga with Oprah Winfrey like solving crime on the street?
How is that possible? I Am Oprah Winfrey by Brad Meltzer. Come on. Monster Friends by Katie Van Dorn and Tiny Tales. I'm just going to vote for Chibi Usagi just because Usagi. Let's see. Best publication for kids 9 to 12. Allergic. I haven't heard of any of these. Four Fisted Tales, Animals in Combat. Rainbow Bridge by Steve Orlando.
Salt Magic. I can tell you what'll win.
Rainbow Bridge, Science of Surfing, Surfside Girl's Guide to the Ocean. Yeah, I don't know any of these, so I can't comment on them. Best publication for teens, 13 to 17. Adora in the Distance by Mark Bernardin. That's Kevin Smith's friend. Clockwork The Witch Owl of Parliament. Don't know it. Legend of Auntie Poe. Don't know it. Strange Academy by Scotty Young. That's actually kind of fun. In all honesty, from what I've read.
About it.
Wind, I didn't care for. I think James Tynion might be getting stretched out a little bit. But yeah,
I don't understand how they're doing these age groups. Like they're so granular, up to age 9 to 12. Each like comics are just either for kids or they're not. Like I don't get it.
Best humor publication: Bubble by Jordan Morris and Cyclopedia Exotica. Not All Robots by Mark Russell. The Scumbag. I read an issue of that. That was all right. Yeah, I'm off the board on the humor publications as well.
I don't think anyone's doing humor these days. I don't think it exists.
Best anthology. Can we just say none? Let's see. You Died, an anthology of the afterlife. Superman Red and Blue, Silver Coin, My Only Child, and Flash Forward, an illustrated guide to the possible.
I've heard really great things about Silver Coin.
I read a couple of issues. It wasn't bad. Yeah, that would probably be the best. Best reality-based work. Okay. The Black Panther Party, a graphic history by David F. Walker. Okay. Hakim's Odyssey, From Syria to Turkey by Fabian Tillum. Lugosi, The Rise and Fall of Hollywood's Dracula. That seems like it'd be kind of nice. Orwell by Pierre Christin. I haven't read any of these, so I can't really comment on them. CQ, A Journey Through American Loneliness, and The Strange Death of Alex Raymond by Dave Sim.
Oh, wow. That's kind of amazing.
That they nominated Dave Sim?
Yeah.
Didn't he get Me Too'd?
Oh, he's a bunch of things. And I know that Strange Death of Alex Raymond is a really weird thing. It's like a lot of collage stuff, I think, if it's the book I'm thinking of. So... That's an interesting one to get nominated.
Let's see.
I'm guessing there's probably not a lot of choices.
The Graphic Memoir, Factory Summary by Guy Delis, parentheses by Elio Durant. What is this, like best foreign book? Run Book 1 by John Lewis. Save It for Later and The Secret to Houston. Once again, I can't talk about these because I haven't read them. Ballad for Sophie, Destroy All Monsters. Okay, now we got goodness. Some Ed Brubaker. In by Will McPhail. Metalark, The Coming Age of a Crime Story by Ethan Hawke and Greg Ruth. And Monsters by Barry Windsor Smith. I got to go search out Monsters. I didn't know Barry Windsor Smith had a book.
Oh, you haven't? Oh,
No,
dude.
I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
it's like a 300-page hardbound graphic novel, and you can get it on Amazon. Last I checked, for like $25.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay, thank you.
the value of it, like for like monetary. If you like Barry Windsor Smith, this is a book that, I mean, I haven't gotten it. I just can promote it just on what it seemed like. This is a book that easily could have been marketed for $80, you know, and for the fact that it's so low price, and then so many people, I haven't heard anything bad about it, so no one is saying it sucks. So if you like Barry Windsor Smith, definitely check it out.
Okay, so here we have Best Graphic Album Reprint. How about trade paperback, kids? Let's just stick with trade paperback. The Complete American Gods by Neil Gaiman, Lock and Key, The Key House Compendium, Middle West, The Complete Tale, Rick and Morty. It's just omnibuses right here. Of what's written down, I would go with Middle West or Lock and Key. What would you guys pick?
I mean, I've only read Middle West, so I mean, I would be biased. This is a weird thing to nominate because there's been why isn't Watchmen in this?
Oh, there you go.
Why doesn't Watchmen just win every year? It's reprinted constantly. Like, how do you do this?
All right. Best adaptation from another medium, After the Rain, by Nnedi Okorafor, I guess. And then we have Bubble by Jordan Moores, Disney's Cruella, adapted by Hashi Ishii, and George Orwell's. Oh, I actually read that. That's good. The George Orwell thing, but that's the only one, so I can't really comment.
I'd like to read that. I'm a big fan of 1984.
Okay, I'm going to scoot over to books that we. I mean, this is like best Asian.
Oh, wait.
Books.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say go to the Asian one though, because that's basically gonna just be manga. So let's see:
Okay.
Chainsaw Man, Kaiju number 8, Love Sickness, Juicy Ninja, Story Collection,
Spy X,
and Spy Family. So there's actually some really good stuff on here. I know Chainsaw Man has been hugely popular. The two I've been reading on here, both to me are definitely worthy. Kaiju number 8 and Spy Family. Right now, I'd probably go Spy Family, just because it's the one that it brings a smile to my face every time that I read it.
Now, this one thing I have been getting into is comic strips. Those readings we do. I would love to actually get some actor kind of, really put your emotions into it. I want to read the Batman strips. I think that would be kind of fun. I got some new editing tools that can do all the sound effects and everything. I thought that might be fun. Put it up as shorts. The archival products, archival comics. It's all the, just. Okay, here we go. Best writer, Ed Brubaker, Destroy All Monsters.
Winner. Stop there.
Kelly Sue DeConnick for Wonder Woman Historia. Felipe Melo.
The fact that Kelly Sue DeConnick can even be in the same category
I know,
as Ed
right?
Brubaker is just.
Ram V for Mini Desolata Star, The Swamp Thing, DC Carnage, Black and White, or The Swamp Thing, Carnage, Black and White, and Blood. Yeah, I'm willing for the first two alone, actually, for Ram V. And then James Tinian, House of Slaughter, something. If you're putting everything down, it's like you're nominating for most. If you want the best, you just include the best. But in all honesty, I would probably go James Tinian on this one because looking
What?
at James Tinian, he's got
You're not reading Ed Brubaker. I'm taking it. Tynan's fine. He's a fine writer, I guess, when he's not being a total hack. I mean, he's writing too much stuff right now.
Yeah,
and that ruins anybody. But when he's not writing too much stuff and he puts his effort into stuff, he's a good, solid. Especially for mainstream stuff, when you compare him to Marvel and DC writers, I would happily. In fact, he's my pick. If I could say, Ash, who would you pick to take over X-Men? I'd say put James Tynion on the role. I would. So I don't have any hate for the guy, but when you put him next to Ed Brubaker, it's just a whole nother league. Ram V can stand up, especially Mini Desolata Star. Like I said, is the best thing I read from 2021, but he's also not always at 100%. Right.
Okay.
The fact that he's got Carnage, Black, White, and Blood, and Venom listed there drops him as, it's like, look, you can write really good, but you also have some misses, where Brubaker has no misses, none.
Well,
he's just at another level. Even his web comic that he's doing is phenomenal.
Okay, you made your case.
That's my opinion, of course. Yeah. Everyone's going to have different.
Writer artist Alison Bechdel for Secret to Superhuman Strength. Junji Ito, Deserter. Junji Ito story collection. Lovesick and Junji Ito story collection. I bought one of his omnibuses for my daughter for Christmas. That's some crazy screwed up. So I will bet I want him. It's just like, holy crap. Barry Windsor Smith, then Will McPhail, and then we got best penciler or inker. Felipe.
Now, I'm wondering on the best writer artist, something notably missing is James Herron. They nominated him for best new series. He's the writer and the artist, and I think it's phenomenal in both the writing and the art. And where is it?
That's like not directing. What's his name? Villeneuve for Dune, even though it got all the Oscars. Let's see. Best penciler, inker penciler team. Philip Andrade for Many Deaths. Phil Jimenez for Wonder Woman His Story. He's incredible, by the way. Bruno Redondo for Nightwing and Isad Ribic for Eternals. From what I've seen, actually, as much as I don't like the story, Nightwing is not drawn poorly. Phil Jimenez is usually okay. Yeah, I'm willing to let this go where the chips lie. Let's see, best painter: Frederick Bartolucci, Brenda Love, John Bolton's Hell's Flaw, Juan Cavia for Ballad of Sophie, Frank Pay for Little No. I haven't seen any of these. I don't know about you guys, but. Best cover artist, Jim Bartell for Future State Immortal Wonder Woman 1 and 2, Wonder Woman Black and Gold. You know what? Just how about best cover? Just pick one. David Mackey, Norse Mythology. Those are okay. Bruno Redondo for Nightwing. Nightwing's actually had some decent covers. Alex Ross, Black Panther, Captain America. We know he's done some good stuff. Holy shit. Yoshi Yoshitani for I Am Not Starfire. Did you not see the goddamn? Are you kidding me? Have you seen the cover to I Am Not Starfire? Holy crap.
I want to point out something.
I'm literally talking about that. In order for that to have been made, they have had to make some sort of deal with a church. That is literal. Holy crap. Holy.
I want to point out something. Aside from Alex Ross, which one of those people sells comics via covers?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
None.
Well, I mean, some people will argue that Jen Bartel does. I mean, although it's funny that they don't have her She-Hulk #1 on there. So that wasn't a Women's History Month variant either. So, I mean, that's just dumb.
Okay, so best coloring. How many fucking categories are there to this thing? Let's see. Felipe Andrade for Many Deaths. Terry Dodson, Adventure Man. I don't really care for that book. Kay O'Neill, The T-Dragon Tapestry. Jacob Phillips, Story on Monsters and Fiends of the Devil. And Matt Wilson for Undiscovered. I don't know any of these, tell you the truth.
So I can vouch. These are actually...
I mean, Firepower's good. I mean...
I saw Many Deaths of a lot, but the other stuff...
I mean, basically, colored his own stuff, so... I mean, the thing about the Adventure Man is, I mean, it's a very muted palette.
Wait, okay. Best comics related periodical or journalism. The Alter Ego, edited by Roy Thomas. Okay, I want to see that. Columbus Scribbler, Fanbase Press, TCJ.com, WomenWriteAboutComics.com. I think I've seen that one, and I got to tell you, it reads like an Us magazine, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Best comics related book. All of the Marvels by Doug Wolk. The Art of Thai Comics. A Century of Strips and Stripes. Fantastic Four #1 panel by panel by Stan. Okay. Old Gods and New. A companion to Jack Kirby's Fourth World. And True Believer. The Rise and Fall of Stan Lee. He had a fall. Let's see. I'm not going to look up the scholarly stuff. Publication design.
Crap.
and best digital comic. Wait, what about just best comic? Okay.
Best digital is a good category. It's
Days of
it's not good
Sand,
here, but it's
Everyone
a
is
worthy
Jeff
category.
by Kelly Thompson. You know what, guys? You want to do yourselves a favor? Watch the Spirit Awards. If you want to know, just look up Spirit Awards on the channel. Take a look and see if it's going to be your cup of tea. Participate. When we have the nominees and all that kind of stuff, come on, get your voice heard. And then when the vote is up, vote, because it's your choice. Whatever goes in there is your choice. What is voted for is your choice. And to me, it's a hell of a lot of fun just doing all of it. Of course, my Spirit Awards is when I'm tallying up all the votes on the day of. And sometimes it's pretty damn close. And it's like, okay, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Yeah, but it's fun. Let me get some of these comments that we were letting pass by here. Radiant Black is a decent series from Image in spite of the publisher becoming a mixed bag of quality. Let's see.
I need anyone that's telling me that Radiant Black is good to tell me the first issue sucked, but it got better. If someone tells me that, I will give it a chance, because I only read the first issue, and it was terrible.
The first issue sucked, and it says You Died should have been a Resident Evil book. I remember in the early 2010s they had 3 ratings for Marvel All Ages, Teen, and MA, to put it in perspective. All right. Some of these sound very onerous, like they made books to simply win awards. Hey, they make movies for the same reason. Giving awards for reprints. Yes, apparently so. Not just for comics, but for comic strips. Best graphic album reprint is an odd category. It's best trade paperback. It is. That's all they're doing. There should be a spinoff called American Demons for American Gods, and then you take villains. Okay. But wow, I missed a lot. Sorry, gang. I've got to skip over those. I would actually vote for Terry Dodson as the best colorist. Dodson don't get much love as the Simonson's Radiant Black did get better after 1 issue, says Dominic. So Dominic is saying it. All righty. So anyway, gang, there you go. My wife's back. We've been on this for 2 hours, so let's call it. And once again, join us for the Spirit and the Gabbies next month in June is when we do them towards the end. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Hope you saw something in the books that we're having for the auctions that you might like to pick up. Saturday at 9 p.m. is the auction itself. Tomorrow, we usually do another hangout stream talking about whatever news story everybody's talking about or whatever little thing someone's bitching about. So join us for that as well. Don't forget to go. Ash, do you still do stuff on your stream?
I haven't been streaming or anything in a while.
All right.
So I'm in hiatus.
Oh, okay. And thanks for hanging out. Who would you put on the best comic book husband and wife duo? Ralph and Sue Dibney. Let's just stay there for me. Okay, you kids have a great time. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching.